Good afternoon. All right. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story first. So, I still remember the moment that I knew something had to change. And it was a conversation that I was having with my boyfriend. And we were talking about having kids. And having kids is something I knew I wanted since I was 5 years old, playing with Barbies and playing house. Okay. So that was really like, to me, the idea of never being able to have kids was a very emotional one. It made me feel depressed to think that I couldn't have them. And while me and him were talking about it, an old fear like welled up inside of me. And I was terrified that I'd have to one day tell him we can't have kids of our own. Okay. So, and let me backtrack. I have what's known as PCOS. If you don't know, that's it stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's basically a bunch of medical issues all rolled into one that they can't explain why it happens to certain women. It's also the leading cause, the number one cause in female infertility. So that being a fear, I was completely justified in. Okay, so we were having this conversation, and my heart dropped. My heart dropped, and I told him. He was amazing about it. He's always amazing, but he was amazing about it. And he was like, but when I told him, I also told him that all of my doctors and every doctor I talked to said that if I lose weight, I would have higher chances of being able to conceive naturally. So we continued to talk, and we both decided, really, I decided that I wanted to try to lose the weight, and he was just again supportive. And he was like, "Okay, we'll do whatever you need." And so I kind of did what I think most people do when they're in a bind and they don't know what to do. I had on Google, and I Googled how to lose weight easily. So the first thing that popped up, and I guess it really shouldn't have shocked me, but it was an ad for this at-home workout program called 21 Day Fix. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but if you are, you've seen the infomercials for a bunch of different programs. And again, if you're like me, you're like, that doesn't work. That was me for forever. But this particular time when I saw it, I was so desperate. Like, I would try anything within reason. So I bought it. I did it. Nothing happened. No change. Nothing. But what it did do, because I was in a group with other women doing this, and I'm seeing them lose 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds over the course of those 3 weeks. And I couldn't understand why I wasn't. But I knew that I was onto something. That, that these programs worked, but for some reason, there was something in me that was stopping it. So I started doing some research, and the one thing, or rather three things, that I kept coming across were that women with PCOS should cut out gluten, dairy, and soy. Now, of course, I just want things to get better, so I don't really dig into why so much as I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I did. I cut out the gluten. I was not giving up cheese, but I did give up animal milk, which I never liked anyway, and I opted for almond milk. Okay. The next round I did, I lost 3 pounds in 3 weeks, which for me that was awesome. But I continued. I mean, I continued to not eat much gluten, but I did start eating gluten again. So of course, I mean, I'm that kid who grew up eating homemade biscuits and homemade cake, homemade pies, like all the things that contain gluten, and they were my favorite things. And I'm finding, or I had found, and I'm still finding, that most of us with PCOS do tend to love foods that are full of gluten. I don't know why. I'm wondering if it's something to do with our biology, but honestly, I couldn't tell you why. But I knew that it was a problem. So, fast forward again, about a month after I started these programs, and I had lost some more weight. The opportunity to coach was presented to me, and that was the big thing. I knew the programs worked. I knew the products worked. I loved them. I was a complete believer in using them if they didn't harm me. Like obviously some people have allergies where they just can't have certain things. I get it. I do too. But so at that point, when I heard that I can make money just by doing what I was already doing, I was like, sign me up. Where do I sign? How do I do this? That was it. I understand most people are not like that. However, again, I was in love with the products. I was in love with the community. So I signed up. Did my business take off right away? No. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I was that person who, in the back of my mind, three things were wrong. One, I didn't actually believe I needed to do a lot of hard work. Two, I didn't actually believe I could do it. And three, I didn't think anybody would listen to me. I'm not the expert. But what I do have and what you'll have at your disposal if you join me is a bunch of experts, not only fitness experts, but you'll have nutritionists, you'll have um, fitness experts, you'll have experts in pretty much everything. So, and we will give you all of the tools. But as as I started my business and it wasn't growing the way I wanted, I got really frustrated, first of all. And I just remember sitting in front of my computer, holding my phone, and I text my coach. And I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. This isn't working. It's not for me. She said something that still makes me think. She was like, why do you think it's not for you? She's like, what do you really want out of this business? And when I stopped to think about that, actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't my coach. It was another coach whose training I was listening to. She was proposing these questions. And she's like, when you feel like quitting, stop yourself for a second and think, what do you want? What would your life look like if money and time were not a problem? And I actually started to think about that. And I started to realize the things that I really truly wanted. After that, I got to work. And that's the thing. You can't just know what you want and hope and pray and tell the universe and be like, okay, universe, now I'll sit here and wait for you to give it to me. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to physically put in the work. But I will say, some days I've got maybe an hour. Some days I only have half an hour. So I do the most pertinent parts of my work in that amount of time. Some days I've got all day, and those are actually my least favorite days because when you have all the time in the world, you kind of procrastinate. But I get done what's most important, and I have put systems in place that are working for me that I will happily give you. Um, I will say this: our team is growing, and I'm very excited for the ladies who I work with. They are doing amazing things with this business, and I will be there with you. When you start, you will have, I don't want to say 24/7 access to me because at a certain time I do shut my phone off, but you'll have at least 16 hours every day to access me. We'll say that. Or not 16, I'm sorry. It's 24 hours in a day. So you'll have about 12 to 14 hours. But aside from that, we've got trainings. We've got a whole training. We actually have a whole website that my coach created, and you can use that. But I would highly recommend only using it as a reference. Um, I will also say that you can Google and search YouTube for anything you want to know in this business just about. And you will have your what we call our back office with all sorts of tools and graphics and explanations, and there's a tracker in it. And anything you could possibly need. If it's not there, I'm telling you, Google or YouTube. They're still my best friends. But you will definitely have access to everything you need. And if there is a question you have, that's what I'm there for. Um, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes so I don't forget to tell you anything. So, okay, I covered my story and why I joined. So my role or your role as a business owner would be just that. You're the CEO. It's your business. You get to name it. Uh, you get to grow it as fast or as slow as you choose to. But one thing I have learned, and this was a hard pill for me to swallow, and I'm still swallowing it, still working on swallowing it every day. You have to take responsibility for your actions and for your outcomes. So whether you're growing extremely fast and you're like, yes, I'm doing this, or you're not growing at all. And that again was me in the beginning. And I was like, well, why isn't this working for me? Well, maybe if my coach was teaching me better. And I have a different coach now, by the way. Um, because I just didn't feel like I fit in with the team that I was originally assigned to. So this time I'm assigned to one that I chose. But that's a story for another time. We can talk about that later if you decide to join. So that that in a nutshell is your job. Just like it's my job in my business. And anything you could need, like you need to lead a challenge group or a bod group, which is basically just a virtual gym. For at least the first month, I will add you to mine and you can add your people to it. And if you feel ready to go out on your own after that, then that's fine. I'm not going to make you, but I would highly encourage you to. Now, I will say this even if you don't put people in your group right away, you need to have one. But I'm getting ahead of myself. All of that will be in your welcome email. Um, so, okay, here's the big thing. I have been told that this business doesn't work. I have been told, oh, I don't drink shakes. I have been told at home workouts don't work. All of these things were at one point me. Now, I've already covered the fact that these workouts work. And there are hundreds and thousands of people who would agree with me who have photo proof. But with the I don't drink shakes, well, hey, guess what? That's not the only product we have. But I will caution you against saying that just yet because most people they think it's a protein shake. It's not. Let me let you in on a little secret. It's full of all kinds of superfoods. It's got pre and probiotics. It's got adaptogens to keep you from getting sick. It's got antioxidants to keep you healthy. It's got, um, oh my gosh, what was the big one I was thinking of? Brain fart. Okay, if I think of it later, I'll tell you. But we also have our pre and post workout supplements, which they help with your muscles. They help you push harder in your workout and then help you recover quicker. So there are so many options. And then we just came out with our um oh what is it? Oh my gosh, our digestive enzyme. Okay. I'm in the middle of something. Sorry. Our digestive enzyme to help your body break down and absorb the foods you eat. To help you absorb the fat, the carbs, and the protein from it. And then we have our oh, I cannot think right now. I clearly need to eat again. But our pre and probiotic blend. And it will help heal your gut as well as to feed the good gut bacteria and help to starve the bad gut bacteria, which is always awesome. Um, But so we have plenty of different options, and I will help you find the one that is right for you. What was the other? Oh, I've also heard objections about the cost. But see, here's the thing: we have three ways that you can join me. You can become a customer and pay retail price for everything. If that's what you choose to do, and some people do, that's fine. The second way, and then you become a part of my fit family. The second way is to join as a preferred customer, which you would pay a fee each month, kind of like if you had a Costco membership or an Amazon Prime account, um, and you would get the perks and the discounts. So that's the second way you can join me. And then the third way is to actually build a business. And to do that, you also pay a fee, but it's 15.95, and that covers returns. It covers um, all the materials in the back office. And let me tell you, every month or every time we have a launch, we get more materials in there. That stuff is literally, you would pay well into the thousands for all of that kind of material, um, if you owned a brick and mortar. So there's that. Now, I'm at 16 and a half minutes just about. I'm trying to keep this under 20. So, okay, there are two ways to earn income. Well, actually three, but I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so the first way is commission. You Somebody sells something or buys something through you. If your coach ID number is attached to it, you get 25% commission. Second way is once you build to what we called emerald and above, you start team cycle bonusing, which basically means you're just getting paid every week, that you have enough. I'm just going to say points. We call it volume, but points, on each of your legs. Now, it sounds like a pyramid scheme, but it's not. And I can tell you why it's not. One, pyramid scheme is illegal. And two, in a pyramid scheme, you're promised to get paid, you're guaranteed. But Team Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. And everything is based on each individual coach's diligence, skill, and work ethic. So there's that. But the third way that we make money or that we earn money is once you hit a certain rank, you actually get quarterly bonuses. Now I'm not there yet, but I'm headed there. So that's really exciting and it's something to work for. Also, all of our coaches who qualified just came back from the first uh, Success Club trip in like 3 years, 2 years, something like that. It was amazing. It was in Punta Cana and it was so beautiful. I didn't get to go, but I watched my coach while she was there. It was so beautiful. And so you can earn trips. Yes, you pay for your airfare, but other than that, like you've earned it. The company pays for it. Um, there are other trips and things you can go to and earn too, like leadership, new leader conference. Um, and typically we have a Success Club trip every year. I'm sorry, my nose is sore and I don't know why. All right. So I've already kind of touched on the training, but we have weekly team calls as well. And of course, if you have questions, like I said, you can search it, you can check the back office, you can check the resources in our team page and see if anything's there. And if you can't find the answer anywhere else after actually looking, you can come to me. And if I don't know the answer, I will find it. Um, okay, so the cost to enroll. I'm sure if you're still watching at this point, you want to know. So you can either purchase a challenge pack, which the cheapest one I believe is $150 now. I'm sorry, not a challenge pack, a total solution pack. They renamed it. Oh, it's confusing. Um, but you can purchase one of those, and then your coach sign up fee will be waived, or you can sign up as a coach for $40. However, to be considered an active coach, you have to have at least 50 PV. So you'd have to buy something that costs at least $50 on auto ship, which means they'll ship it to you monthly. Um, If you want to actually make money, you have to have 90. So our Shakeology is 90, hands down. The performance stack, which is our pre and post workout, is also, it adds up, I believe, to 90. If not, it still counts. Um, some of the perks though, well, I've already touched on the tricks, but some of the perks, to be honest, it's just the community. Like that's one of my favorite things. I mean, coaches from other teams that are super successful, I can go to them and ask questions and they'll answer me. I've made friends with quite a few coaches on other teams that I never would have met otherwise. Um, okay, here's one of my favorite things about this entire thing. So I don't know where you work. I don't know what your job is, but I do know that you have a limited earning potential. Like it's just the way it is. Unless you own your own business, there is a cap to the amount of money you can make. Now, I do know in corporate America, every year you get like a 5% raise or a 3% raise, one of the two. In this business, that's not a thing. We have coaches making seven to eight figures now. So it is entirely possible to create the life you want with the money you earn from coaching. And that gets me so excited because one of my dreams, which is up on my dream board, is to go travel, to travel all over Italy, to travel all over Europe, really, but especially Italy, and to buy a house there as well as in South Korea. I don't know if I still want to buy a house in South Korea, but I do know I still want to buy a house in Italy. And I'm going to achieve that through coaching. I have no doubt that is something that I feel to my bones. And you can do the same thing, regardless of whether you want to go to Italy, you want to go to uh, Disneyland. I've had people tell me they paid for their family to go to Disneyland. Whatever it is you want, this can help you get there. This can be your vehicle to accomplish that. Okay, I'm gonna calm down a little bit because I get very excited about that. The last thing I want to cover is how to sign up. So I already touched on what you would need to do as far as how much it would cost. But if you are ready to sign up, excuse me, after you watch this, just email me back and say, I'm ready. Let's do it. And I will send you a link so that you get the best value for your money, but also so that you get everything you need at the best possible value that you can. So, yes, I'm only at 23 minutes. I accomplished keeping it under 25. I'm so proud of myself. But I hope that if you have any questions, you will reply to this email. And I really hope that you decide to join us on this journey. I am so excited. I am so happy to have met you. And this is going to be the ride of a lifetime. Okay. So I will talk to you soon. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.